Hi, my loves. This is your host, Isabella Sanfilippo, and you're listening to the I Love You podcast. Today we have a very special guest.
Hello.
That's Tanner Grigoli. Last week we did an episode on student athletes, so I figured this week we should do an episode on student musicians. A lot of our listeners already know you from school or TikTok, but for those who don't, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Tanner. I play guitar, I sing, I write my own songs, I do a lot of TikTok, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay, so I guess we'll just jump straight into the questions.
All right, sounds good.
How long have you been singing and playing guitar?
So I've been singing for as long as I can remember. Started out like I loved Michael Jackson when I was like 3 or 4. Was singing in like a church choir by the age of like 5 and 6, and then my mom got me guitar lessons. I think I was like 8 or something. So I started pretty early, and I think that's like it's really optimal to start at such a young age because it comes more natural than like if somebody was starting like right now. It's like harder to get into it.
Yeah, it's also muscle memory a lot too. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to build that up.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always known what you wanted to do?
Yeah. So actually, I was always like a soccer player too. So there was a point where I was like, oh, do I want to do soccer or music? Like it came hard to choose, but I realized that like in soccer, like everybody in the whole world plays that sport, and like the chances of going pro are so slim that I just thought music was more realistic and I enjoyed it more. And I just decided, and I just full speed ahead.
I feel like a lot of student musicians like use like a lot of your brain too when playing instruments and stuff like that. So a lot of musicians are multi-talented. Like you see a lot of musicians also playing sports. So
yeah, for sure.
The struggle is real. It's hard to choose. Is it difficult to find a balance between music and school?
Yeah. Geez. Yeah, school sometimes gets like so much like, and I'm a big procrastinator too, so like I leave everything for the last minute, and like sometimes I never have time to do music stuff, and it's just like I just do homework and then just go right to bed. But this year I'm trying to manage my time better, and with like kind of front loading my stuff and doing everything so I can make time for music, because now I feel like I'm kind of on a time crunch because college is coming up and stuff, and I want to try to at least kind of make it before then. But yeah, it's like I really gotta manage my time better, and kind of almost not put like, I do want to put music first, but like school is equally as important, so there's a balance.
The balance is difficult. It's especially more difficult with music because it's not like a club where you can just like do an event and then be done. It takes like practice. It's like a class. You have to study for it and like practice so many hours. It takes a lot of work.
It is, yeah, but it's all worth it.
That kind of goes into this question. So being a musician, like I said, is a huge commitment. How often do you practice?
So I kind of get to the point where I don't really just like practice like I'm always like singing. Like if you enter my house, like the first thing you hear is me singing. So yeah, I kind of just like sing whatever. Guitar, I'll just like play whatever I want to. I don't really call it practicing anymore. Just kind of just like doing whatever I want. But yeah, I used to practice a lot, like at least like an hour and a half a day. But yeah, it gets to the point where you kind of just like, I don't know. Like I'm not really concerned with improving. Like I with guitar, like with singing, I'm obviously always working at that and trying to improve and like increase my range. But guitar kind of got like stagnant, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And I think like also when you play both, guitar is kind of like your backup. You're the main focus and your voice is the main focus.
Yeah.
So that kind of also bleeds into this question too. Something I think is tedious with music is vocal health. And like you have to like take care of your voice so much. So how do you deal with like having a strained voice or like allergies or stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's very important to warm up, which like I know it's annoying. It takes so long, and like you don't want to do it, but it is really so important, and like it helps because I never used to warm up, and then I recently got a vocal teacher who went through like all the warm-ups and stuff. I'm like, wow, it's so much easier to sing now, because like think about it, if you're just like playing sports or something, you just go right into like running heavy like without stretching, like obviously you're just gonna be tight and like you're gonna get hurt. So singing's the same way. It's a muscle. So
yeah, I think that also when you warm up with like scales and something, it gets like the intonation of the notes better too. So like you can like hear where you're supposed to go and the pitches and all that stuff. So I think that also helps.
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned this, but I play cello. So.
Oh yeah, I remember from last time.
Yeah.
You still keep up with that?
I do. I'm in 3 orchestras.
3.
So it's a lot, yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Next question is, do you ever deal with lack of motivation? And how do you handle that?
Yeah, so again, like with coming up with like school and stuff, it does get a lot. And like I've had thoughts where I'm just like, I don't, is it like unrealistic to like achieve this? And I just think to myself, like, I have no other passions. There's nothing else I want to do. Like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to get a job. I just want to do music. And that kind of just like, gives me motivation and drive to, write songs and do TikTok and just get myself out there.
Yeah. Motivation, like, it mostly comes from you, but it can also come from other places. But when it comes from other places, it's not as, like, important, I feel like. Because I had this one crazy conductor, and he made me redo a whole seating audition that took me, like, 3 months to prepare. So I had to prepare it again for another
insane.
3 months. And I was, like, doing doubles, and I could tell, like, he wanted me to, like, get it perfect. But, like, the motivation wasn't coming from me. So, like, I didn't want to practice, and I got, like, so burnt out.
Right.
But
yeah.
I'm not with him anymore, so
Okay.
I found like more motivation and the burnout went away. So.
Yeah, that's valid.
Okay, what is your songwriting and production process?
So I think that the melody is better than the lyrics. So I always start with either some instrumentation or, like a melody or just like chords on a guitar. And then I kind of go from there. I don't put in a lot of thought to lyrics because like they are absolutely important. But I think when you first hear a song, the thing that sticks with you is the melody, not the lyrics necessarily yet. But still, you can't have you can't have a song with a bad melody and good lyrics because that's just not a song at that point.
Yeah,
but you can have a song with bad lyrics, but like obviously you want good lyrics, but it's not the most like important thing. Like if you have a good song, people are going to want to listen to it anyway. It doesn't really matter what it's about.
And I feel like also like there's like joke songs like that get stuck in your head and it's just because of the melody.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's actually very true. I never thought of it like that.
Mm.
Okay, when is your next song coming out?
So I'm actually releasing a song on October 20th. So I think that's 2 weeks on a Friday. So I'm really excited. It's the first song I've dropped since I think June. And it's just like an acoustic kind of like ballad love song, which is something I've never done before. All my songs have been like pretty upbeat and like all high energy. But yeah, I thought I'd explore something else. It's kind of like This Town by Niall Horan kind of vibe.
I love that song.
Yeah. So it's just like acoustic and vocals and yeah, I'm super excited.
I can't wait. Like that actually, I love Niall Horan. I think I've talked to you about this before.
Yeah,
but
he's the goat.
Oh, I love him. I would marry him if he asked me to marry him.
Same.
Okay, so I asked you this question a while back when we did our first interview. Would you, maybe we'll make it like a little tradition, but can you sing Never Felt Before?
Okay, I can. I think, okay. Should I start from the chorus or should
I? You can start from wherever you want. We're talking about melodies, so if you want to sing the melody, that's totally good with me.
All right, so the chorus goes like, you always said we would just be friends, but I think you want something more. I've been picking up vibes and obvious signs that I've never felt before. So that's kind of just like...
It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so with my songs, I always kind of like every time I listen to a song, like the catchiest songs to me are the songs that have like that offbeat where it goes to like either like a major or to a minor or just like something that like just doesn't sound right, but it sounds so good.
The syncopation.
Exactly. So yeah, that song, I incorporated that in like the last line, and yeah, in all my songs I try to incorporate that because that's what I feel like makes a good song.
And it sticks in your head too. Like, yeah, because I guess like it doesn't resonate perfectly, so it like kind of like eats at you almost, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys heard the announcement. New song dropping on October 20th. What's the name of the song?
It's called If You Could Be Mine.
That's a pretty enticing title, so go listen to it. But yeah, that's all we have for you today. So I'm your host, Isabella Sanfilippo.
And I'm Tanner Grigoli.
And thank you for listening. And also, remember,
I love you. That was awesome.